10:20 or 10:02 at about 5:20 or so. When I got here, there was nothing but cloud cover. Almost kind of looked like it was going to rain. But definitely a sign that Rosa is giving us her best, and so much of the humidity. I know last night there were flash flood warnings for Riverside, so I hope everything worked out there. Tomorrow we're supposed to get some rain maybe here, but mostly I guess in the upper desert, San Diego. So today's a Taco Tuesday with a twist. My name's Dave. Well, it's the Epic Beard and Dave. I don't think we're going to be shooting. When I get home, I'm going to immediately transfer this and post it to my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel under David. If you want to look for it, you can. You can also look for the Epic Beard and Dave on YouTube. I started a second channel, which is I think it's going to be mostly these talks and rants and stuff like that. I may pull everything off of the other channel and then try to post different types of videos there, if I do go live videos. So I don't know who I just missed on the screen. Say something or whatever. Not in a very good mood today. I had a pretty bad weekend. Not only did I come down with, I went out to get something to eat and was going to do some shopping, grocery shopping, and it went a little bit later than I thought, but I went to one of my favorite restaurants where I usually feel welcomed, and ran into some intestinal distress afterwards. And, it's pretty much down Saturday and Sunday, or the rest of Saturday evening and Sunday. It's a little embarrassing, to be honest with you. Monday had me kind of recuperating as well, but I think the worst part was discovering that somebody I've known for over 8 years, and I mean I physically know this person, and I used to. What's up? I'm just saying hi. Someone I used to talk to regularly, and who I used to give a card and a little something to her on her birthday. And apparently, especially since I retired, I guess I've got nothing to offer. And so now she's she dropped me off of Facebook, but when I see her, she doesn't really talk to me, and unless this friend of mine who is a regular at the restaurant, much more than I am, he's a nice guy, customer, is sitting next to me. Other than that, I just don't feel welcome there anymore. I don't know. But yeah, 8 years. I guess I'm not worth somebody that you want to keep as a friend, so fine. I don't need people. I don't need people like that. I don't need pseudo social justice warriors and thought police and speech police and always gave her a little something, and like I said, in a card. And I always tip pretty well when I'm in the restaurant, and I think I do. I guess I could do better. When I was a waiter, I was always told a 15% gratuity was polite and was considered, what's the word? It's a word for manners. And, but then I read, 10%, 20%, and I talk to people, because I used to be in food service myself at one point when I was younger. And I was trying to get through high school, and they want 20 or 25, and they want more, and they expect it. You need to tip. You must leave a tip. That's why some places are even putting a tip on it or suggesting the tip. Personally, my opinion is piss off. If you haven't got the etiquette, that's the word, etiquette, the forethought and the manners to know what's to do and what's proper, then that's it. But also remember, like for one I know, Canadians don't tip. Some other nationalities don't tip either. And when you go to their country, they're kind of like shocked that you're leaving a tip. But it's also about service. You see, a tip is not required by law. And of course that's what they want. They want to put it on there that, you have to pay so much for the food and then a percentage extra. Now I can understand some of the dilemma there. Most people don't know that since Ronald Reagan was in office, he felt that, and you know what, he wasn't far wrong, but that by law you were supposed to declare your tips. And I'll tell you what, as a former busboy who's waitered, after he was tipped us out because he wanted good support, the ones that didn't, put into the kitty for the busboys, I don't know, their station and their tables didn't get cleared as fast. And we were on high-end service, so French style, so the breadsticks or whatever didn't come as quickly, and the water glasses weren't as full. And because you're going to go to the guy that always gives you a respectable percentage of what he got. We didn't get a lot. We didn't make anywhere near what the waiters were making. I know that because I eventually, briefly became a waiter. Even helped out in the kitchen. Excuse me a moment. What's up, man?
Everything good?
Yeah, that's always good. It's Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be a bad day, a long day.
Oops, sorry.
I'm going to be here at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Tomorrow, or tonight sometime, I think we're supposed to get some rain.
I hope they wait till I finish with my catering.
It may be later in the day, maybe later in the evening, It may be start tonight or whatever.
I told you what it's going to be. When God feels like it's going to be the right time.
Yeah. Well, last night there was flash flood warnings up in Riverside, and I know Rosa is starting to dump a a squall line into the base of California and into Arizona. So that's where all this is coming from.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty weather though.
Yeah, it's really humid. Really, it's nice, but it's humid as hell.
Yeah, I can tell by the air conditioning, any kind of air conditioner.
Yeah.
I go into my car, and I never moved the air conditioner so much than 74.
Mm-hmm.
This morning I have to put it in 70.
I sat there Saturday for breakfast, and I couldn't believe how bad it was in there. It was probably better to eat out here, but I couldn't because the guys group had taken over the entire area.
And they want me to not like the teams because they want to go over there.
They do?
Yeah. You know the door was open.
No, I didn't notice it.
Every other Saturday we open all those chairs because they wanted to sit out over there.
Well, I don't know why. I mean,
I wouldn't mind them again.
I wouldn't. I noticed one thing. Only one or two guys had the wooden chairs because they didn't have enough. They'd used pretty much everything here. You know, all the chairs were taken up, and they needed a couple of extras, so they came in and got some wooden chairs. Unlike the women who seem to pile up all these chairs over here and clean you out of wooden chairs.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with those things.
Yeah, well, I know. Anyways, Reagan, we were talking about Reagan and the taxes and tipping. And, yeah, I was a waiter briefly. I even helped the chef, became a chef's assistant a couple days. Learned to cook a steak Diane, which I love. I love those. I cannot flambe, but, you know, those are awesome. But back when I was dating my ex-wife, 81, I believe it was 81, Reagan passed a tax or a law or a code for the IRS, and that what it boils down to is they judge what a server sells, their sales. They don't really sell it, but I mean, but what they hot shoe out to a table, you know, and like, you know, if they sell $400 or $500 worth of food that night, then the company creates a number based on that number at 8%. They add 8% on that. That's supposed to be tips. Now, if we all tip in cash, especially cash, or credit cards, the food server gets the money right away, but later down the line, 8% of that will be taxed. But only 8% of that, and it's all based on what they sell. How you doing?
How are you?
And they that doesn't mean, like, if you get 10% or 15% or 20%, it means you sold $400 worth of food, so 8% more goes on there as your income. And in doing that, if you're not a good waiter or waitress, or you're in a tourist town and you're suddenly hit with a tour group of Canadians or whatever, and they don't tip, and you sell $400 worth of food and you don't get a tip, you're still taxed 8%. That was supposedly your gratuity on your total food sales. So it could be really, really bad. So you could come in and pretty much owe money at the end of the night, you know. And that's another thing, you know. Your paycheck ends up a little bit smaller, and you become more and more dependent on your tips. It's screwy. I mean, it's really, really screwy. And I understand that. I've always been sympathetic to wait staff. I'm not somebody that tips a straight 15%. I'm usually a little bit higher than that. I'm usually a little more than 20 even, you know. I've had a dinner bill for like $12 or $13, and I leave $5. I pretty much always leave $5 unless my bill is much higher. That the $5 starts to become a smaller gratuity. But I'm not afraid to really trim back if I get really poor service. You know, I don't expect a lot. You know, little accuracy, a smile, maybe a giggle or two from a bad joke. All my jokes are bad, whether they're clean or not. They're just, you know, I'm a bad joke teller. You know, especially puns and one-liners. Like, do you know what you call a fish? You know what a fish says when he hits concrete, right? He says, "Damn." You get that? Do you get that? So I like those plays on words and puns and whatnot. The simple, lowbrow stuff. Of course, I'm not above giving a slightly off-colored joke. I mean, I'm not somebody that tells really filthy jokes. Only to really close friends of mine, and males. You know. And yes, you liberated women, you whatever you are, you can add that to male toxicity. But you know what? Screw you. You know, even the ones that have the perfect boyfriends, their little metro whatevers, they're not happy. They're not going to be happy. I believe in them. You should just, like your friendships, you should just do your best to get along, you know, be honest, be very honest. Oh, hey, is that Brandy again? Brandy Dawn should say hello. Stop in and say hello. Give me a response. But yeah, back to the weekend. Like I said, it wasn't good. Besides getting sick, I got punched in the gut. You know, it's almost like you shouldn't be nice to people anymore. Just let them go their own way. I know maybe it's a little bit of a rant, you know. Don't take a lot of it seriously. I don't like to be angry, and I don't like to respond. I can be rather low-key and brutal at the same time. I had, for instance, here's a good one, you know, and it's become a personal thing with me over the years because I've run into it for so long with so many people. But I don't say I'm sorry. I will apologize. I will apologize in a heartbeat, in a New York minute, at the drop of a hat, a snap of a finger. I will apologize for something I have done wrong, or something that people have misinterpreted, or whatever I didn't quite understand, or I just made a grievous error. But I will apologize, and sincerely apologize. And I will hopefully convey to you that I mean it most sincerely. But I won't say I'm sorry. And I'll tell you why. Because at one point in my life, someone who was, well, close to me, very close to me, seemed like there for a while, that's all they were saying. I'm sorry, you know. And I was starting to get a little frustrated, you know, because it seemed like they were always sorry. You know, we'd agree upon something, we'd go to do something, and we'd go agree upon it, and then she'd change her mind or change our plans all over the place. I'd say, hey, you know. She says, well, I'm sorry, you know, I thought this was better. She says, yeah, but she didn't talk to me about it, you know. Well, I'm sorry. Well, one day she I couldn't hold it in, I guess. I mean, I can only take so much before I have to really, really let it out. I guess I used to think it was more of a problem with me, but I see that, you know what, it's not. I'm actually a very nice person. I try to be patient. I try to be somewhat understanding. And I don't want to yell at you. Because I can hurt your feelings. But they said they were sorry. And they said it like so sarcastically. You know? And so it's kind of like rolling around and goes, oh, I'm sorry. And it just hit me, and I didn't get real mad. Well, I got mad, but I didn't get real like hot and bothered and started to yell or anything like that. And I just said, well, whatever. Well, that ticked them off, you know, especially women. Women don't like to hear that term or that word. And I turned to her and I said, you know, you're right. And I'm sorry. But, you know, and I realize you're sorry. And I know you're very sorry. And, I mean, you're always sorry. That's all I hear anymore. I'm sorry. And I'm going to have to, I accept that. I agree with you. You are. You are sorry. And I just said, and you're about the fucking sorriest person I have ever met. And because of that, look up the word. Look up the word sorry. It doesn't just mean to apologize or express, you know, regret, but it also means a condition and a state. I mean, look at that sorry-ass horse. You know, you're the sorriest person I know. You know. And so because of that, I don't want to ever be a sorry person. And that's why I take that stand. That's why I turn around and I say, you know, but I will apologize. I mean, a normal, rational, considerate human being cannot not apologize if they've done something wrong. If you're one of those that can't, then there's something emotionally wrong with you. I mean, you're a sociopath. Now, take that story and try to understand something else. I don't like to hurt people. I don't like saying things like that. I don't like being in people's faces. My best view on that is, you know, if you're somebody like that, and that's the way you always are, and that's the best you can be, then I really don't need to be around you. And you don't need to be around me. I mean, there's going to be enough in my life, and there has been enough in my life of sorrow, of loss, of pain, of anguish, the loss of my dog when I was 9 or 10, the loss of trust, the loss of my father when I was 12, the loss of my mother when I was 50-something, I think it was 40 or 50. The loss of my uncle, my cousin, well, my uncles, my aunts, the loss of friends, either through tragic circumstances or through something like what happened this weekend. You know, of course, it all depends on the level of friendship too, because I think we all have various levels of friends and a lot of acquaintances. But you know, people you like or whatever, if you had to say goodbye to them. For whatever reason. Is never a joyful process. And so you're going to have a lot of unhappy moments in your life. And quite frankly, you should. I mean, how do you appreciate this moment of joy and happiness if you haven't really felt the deep sorrow and regret and the loss of anything or anybody? But let's be rational about it. It's all part of life. I accept that. I'm not angry. I'm hurt, but I'm not angry. I can be. I can probably forget at some moment if I were to encounter this person or people like that and express a little displeasure with it all. So, anyways, what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to, when I get home here in a little bit, I'm going to download this. I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel. And that's another thing. Maybe I need to do something on Facebook or whatever to promote my YouTube channels. I need to get better at it, that's for damn sure. Maybe sit down and work up a real decent rant and write it out and present a coherent argument. I don't want to, for one, if I'm talking politics or whatever, I don't want to just rely on a he said, she said, and I don't want to rely on whatever the current statement is. I mean, we can look at the current state of our politics and the way we look at some parties and the way we look at some people. And it's just a lot of it seems like it's accusation. It's not the truth, Got a bunch of people that are anti-Nazis. Is that Barbara? I see 2 guys in tuxedos. I think that might be Barbara. I see them pop up, but they never say hi and they never say anything. And it says your comments will appear here, and I'll read them, and I will try to get back to you. Yeah, it's got a little cloud over me today and a little gloom in my heart. But like the weather, it's always changing. And the storm will blow through, and the sun will come out on a clear day, and we'll find a little joy. There's so much of it around. You shouldn't really live in it, just take it for what it is, When it rains, whether you like the rain or not, there's nothing you can do about it. It's raining. If it's snowing, it's snowing. Nothing you can do about it. You can move out of there and not have to worry about snow ever again. But if it's Tuesday, it's Tuesday, and it'll be Wednesday tomorrow. I don't know. A little Zen stuff. I wish I had my I Ching. I could read something.
Hey, senor.
I could read something inspirational. If anyone doesn't know what the I Ching is, it's an ancient form of Chinese philosophy. Uses these, what are they, hexagrams or whatever. They're a combination of 6 different lines, either solid or broken, ones and zeros. Ironically, there are 64 of those characters, which is the basis of binary, 64 bits. And it usually references something regarding something in nature. Of course, you know, the whole, they have the whole earth, air, water, and fire thing going. But according to the book I have somewhere, it's what you do is you can take 3 pennies and you write a question on a piece of paper, and you read it, you fold it, put it in your pocket, and you take the pennies and you shake them in your hand and you drop them on a mat. And the book has a way of reading it where if there's 2 heads up and a tail, it's a broken line. And if it's and it would be a line of change, so you put a little dot by it, because the thing is required like 2 of these to. Anyways, you either got 3 heads or 3 tails, a solid and a broken, and there it goes. And as you create them, you look and you create this little hexagram or whatever, 6 lines, and you match them to where they are, and then you go to another chart and you check the top and you check whatever the 3 lines on the bottom and 3 lines on the top, and you come down and you find out what number it is, and you go to that page and you read some sort of philosophy or whatever that can give you an answer or give you something to work on about your personality or yourself, and it might bring you a little satisfaction or not. And one of them is believe it or not, there is one of those that when you look at it, it references a beginning, and then there's another one that references the end. And the world, what they're trying to say is the world works in cycles, and right now I guess I'm at an end cycle. There's a part of my life that is ending and closing off. And you say, okay, that's what the problem is, and it's nothing to cry about. It's over. And we move on. But wish them the best. I think they've made a mistake. Who knows? Maybe it's just a betterment for them and my loss. Or they could be losing a good friend. The worst part is I feel like from the past that I used to do this thing for them and provide them with a little gift or whatever. When that seemed to end, and it seemed that's where the trouble began, because I guess I wasn't useful anymore. And now it's spread into this whole place where I used to feel a little bit at home. Oh well. You know what? I gotta go. I'm hoping very much that this was therapeutic and cathartic, and that any of those people that know me and that are involved or in a part about this want to stay and comment or something, or just say something to me on Facebook or send me a message or whatnot, then go ahead. But you also have this format to speak and be heard, and I would always love to hear from you. God bless y'all. have a wonderful life. And I will hit finish.